They had a 20-3 kill score once on Envy. I think the high variance is for sure there. But that's just because Gyro gets picked so often.
And it's also, you know, there are two different ways to play Gyro. Like, mainly, you have those Gyros that go for face boots. It says a lot about the approach they want to have to the game. It's very aggressive because it's here that it dishes out a huge amount of damage. And when you have face boots, you're always going to be able to, you know, get to your opponent and kill people. And you have other Gyros, and Envy's Gyros is more that one. It's the portrait Gyro, more into farming items, you know, not as aggressive as the one we saw last game.
I think that CDEC actually expected the Wisp pick, just because if you look at their lineup, it's Lina Bounty Hunter. These two heroes, tremendous amounts of burst. You can just kill Gyro or kill Io. Yeah. And, you know, Wisp is really strong against, like, slow, sustained damage.
No, I mean, not against burst damage. Huh?
I just double-checked this, and if you guys remember the 16-0 game, okay? IG, Invictus Gaming, have played 770 Pro Dota 2 matches. There's one match in which they've been held to 0 team kills, and it was at this TI5 against C9 running that Gyro Wisp. They put a beating on IG like I've never seen before, and they are obviously confident with this.
It was a pleasure to watch and cast that game, and they played beautiful in that game. So that's the C9 that can upset, you know.
Yeah, that's the good C9.
Bad games, sometimes they have bad games, sometimes they have
I'm glad you brought that up as well, because it now gives us a perfect opportunity to witness the difference, perhaps, between CDEC and other Chinese teams.
Right.
Because how are they going to cope with that now? Has there been a conversation between some friends backstage somewhere about, hey, if they pick this is how to counter it?
Yeah, well, I don't think IG are going to be the ones to give tips on how to counter it from that experience.
No.
But CDEC, they have a really good draft against Wisp, as you pointed out, Merlini. Lina and Bounty Hunter, Bounty feeds on a Wisp. He really does. If you get a good start, that's just free money walking around right there.
What I want to say is that so far in this tournament, we've seen Bounty Hunter dominating. He won two games earlier today, and he just won a game, and very convincingly. And again, so you're drafting, and you got to pick a hero for your mid laner, and he's gonna face Lina, which is already one of the strongest mid hero in this game, plus the Bounty Hunter pressuring him. So it's extremely hard, and I don't think trying to come up with a hero that can actually deal with that is the right answer. Dodging that is the best answer. Just win the other lanes. I think it's the best approach.
Are you talking about dual mid, or you just want to really
I think we should just, you know what LG did earlier today is that they had a Lycan that could jungle. And they were like, whatever, you want to pressure mid, we're not even going to be mid. So we're going to do better in the other lanes. He's going to catch up eventually. But I don't think trying to fight that Lina Bounty Hunter is an answer. It's really hard.
I think you're pretty much right there, because putting something that can get at least a wash on mid lane, that's what you're aiming for if you're C9 here. And DK is just a little bit too easy to abuse. In last game we saw how it got punished.
And
maybe
DK
something like Windrunner or something like that can farm from afar and doesn't get brought down by Bounty Hunter so easily.
The main problem with DK, there's no other option for a DK in the early game than to lane somewhere. He can't jungle, he can't roam. He can only be in a lane and stand there and get XP. And
but why not both? Why not both? Your Radiant side and Shadow Fiend is still in the pool. Exactly. And that's a hero that can go to lane, and if it starts getting pressured, provided your supports can stack, which No-Tail, by the way, is masterful doing on his Wisp, that can fall back into the Radiant side jungle.
I think it consumes too much. I don't think they will do that. I think they will go into Beastmaster, if anything, here at Cloud9. Because if they go Shadow Fiend and Gyrocopter, Wisp has to run pretty much with Gyro all the time. He can maybe help mid in the beginning, but it just becomes a question of having two sort of farmed heroes instead of having one really strong. And Beastmaster can do so much.
Just to be fair, I probably wouldn't have mentioned that possibility strongly for another team, but I feel like, again, going back to talking about Fata as a team-oriented mid player, I feel like he can play a Shadow Fiend and he doesn't necessarily need ridiculous levels of farm. I mean, obviously on that hero, you're always looking for a lot of farm. But no, I like the Beastmaster pick too. I mean, that's one of, obviously, Beastmaster and Puck, Fata's two signature heroes from way back. You've played a ton of games with those.
Definitely.
Yeah, statistically, just to give you a little bit of flavour on the end of this one, Bounty Hunter currently the 4th most successful with over 10 games played at TI5, 62.2%. Only PL, Crystal Maiden and Templar Assassin with better win rates so far at TI. So it's been a successful pick.
Do I have a job here, Paul?
Wow, shots fired the other way. Finally, I'm getting some grief. I like this.
Fantastic.
Well, not from me. I surrendered earlier. Darkseer pickup is also, I like this pickup because it's going to cause troubles to the safe lane of Cloud9. Because
I'm scared. I mean, their CDEC lanes are looking really solid.
If there's one thing I was bad at doing is zoning heroes. Like, you can't zone heroes with Wisp. Either you go for the kill or you're in trouble. You know, he just stays there in XP.
Yeah.
And Darcy is one of those heroes. Like, you're not going to kill him with Wisp and Gyro unless you force Gyro to get like levels in the second spell, but that's also something you don't want to do so much on the Gyro.
Gaffel is still available. Like, there are still good heroes that could take that job, but then you're going to have to run the Wisp towards mid, which is fine though. So that's still a possibility.
Don't you think that Cloud9 is just giving CDEC whatever they want?
Yes.
Like Lina, Bounty Hunter, Darkseer, Winter.
Did it not feel like that in the first game too?
Kind of, but at the same time, you know, I'm looking at all the heroes that, a lot of the heroes anyway, that C9 would want to draft here are available as well, right? I mean, the Beastmaster is still in the pool, the Puck is still in the pool. I mean, I think they have plenty of strategic options. That's not one of them.
Wow.
No, that's a reactive pick.
I really
as
don't
soon
like
as the Darkseer comes out, they want someone who, exactly like you talked about, fucking man, they want someone who can harass him away. So the Arcane Bolt is going to be the solution to just harassing the Darkseer.
Yeah.
So this is going to put the Wisp towards the mid lane more and securing the safe lane with the Sky.
Don't you just feel though like this hero and Necrophos, like Glimmer Cape just absolutely crushes those heroes.
Sort of, but he also has the silence to him. I don't think Skywrath is all about the damage. It's mostly about what early game control you can bring. However, he is similar to Wisp in that he turns into food against the Bounty Hunter and Lina. And
a PL,
yeah, exactly.
if he gets anywhere near an early diffusal.
This is very, very like intimidating for C9. They have to be very crisp in their execution earlier.
Cloud9 so far is one of the teams that have revealed their two supports very early. They picked Wisp and Bane first two. Now they have like Wisp and Scar first three. I'm not sure. Maybe it's one of the weaknesses of their approach, and that's a typical Bone 7 hero. And they drafted mainly because he's drafting for them right now. And I'm not sure. He probably saw an opening for Legion. It's hard to say. Legion Wisp is an extremely strong offlane duo, like very, very strong, because the Legion just sits on the lane and just spams their safe lane with his first spell, the nuke. And you can never really go on him because Wisp is just waiting. And if you actually try to go on the Wisp, then Legion is just going to use Press the Attack, which is a second spell, to back him up. So you kind of have to let them be and let them XP and get a bit of farm.
Yeah, and this also makes me like, I think the Beastmaster could still be very viable because really you're all in on very, very strong single target disable now to take care of the PL early on.
Like Legion is a great pick right now. Also, Legion and Wisp are good together. Legion Sky are insanely good together. Like, it's very easy duo into Sky ulti, and it's a great setup for the relocate. So
and they better ban Winter.
Yeah,
Winter,
they have to.
They definitely have to. And I think that Legion Commander, they used to have trouble running this hero. C9 is one of the teams that really struggled to get it to work.
Yes.
But they have also managed to get that. It is working well for them lately.
No, I mean, they really persevered. They had some games where they looked awful on this hero and kept running it, and it's like, well, they must know something that we don't, and they did.
Yeah.
I think Legion was actually brilliant, now that I look at it. It's even good versus PL. It's actually a brilliant pick from Bone 7.
It's very good versus PL, but the question, it's not that strong a laner. Do you think it's going to be the Legion Wisp offlane?
With Wisp, it's very strong. If it's not with Wisp, then yeah, I'm not sure about it, but with Wisp, it's actually very scary.
Okay.
Only the third time,
like
TI5 so far, by the way, that we've had Legion out. Yeah.
Probably mainly Cloud9.
At least one of them.
And only 8th time for Skywrath as well, so two very not popular picks.
And they did ban the Winter with him.
Well, we saw enough Sky at TI4.
Yeah, really.
So he's fine.
To last forever.
Yeah. This combo was so much stronger last year when you had like Void in the mix, when you had Glimmer Cape, but now that, when they didn't have
Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, now that Glimmer Cape, it's like Skywrath is, his window to shine is so little, like 1 to 15 minutes maybe.
I feel like they need a strong support. They need I would see some Dazzle or something, Witch Doctor. I'm not sure if that's going to work.
Man, I really like this draft out of CDEC. I really do.
No, Witch Doctor is beautiful against Wisp as well. That's another one of those heroes. Like, you want to tether, it's very difficult.
Look at it go.
Yeah, until you have BKB on your carry, it's just so hard to play against.
I could see the Legion Wisp lane doing quite some damages, but
I think they're gonna against a PL Witch Doctor. Yeah, okay. This is another hero. Flata plays brilliantly.
That's a very good approach to the Lina bounty. Just spam out the lane and Lina and just chill, get some levels.
I like this. Once again, I think we've seen a draft turn around dramatically in the last two picks. I actually kind of like C9's draft here now.
Yep.
Okay, very interesting indeed. Zeus picked up for only the 8th time as well. They've got two other heroes in there that have had less than 10 picks so far. Is it a winning strategy? We're about to find out as we head over to our commentary team. Take it away, LD.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're live here on the floor of Key Arena Blitz, and we are getting ready for CDEC versus C9 Game 2. CDEC already up 1-0. If they win this game, this team goes from a wildcard team to guaranteed over $1 million in prize money on day 1 of the main event.
They're doing okay. They've had a pretty good Monday if they end up winning this game.
Don't get too confident just yet, CDEC fans. But, well, look at the draft a little bit. Cloud9, they go back to heroes that are not very popular around the tournament right now, per se. Wisp, we've not seen too much IO. Zeus does not have a great win rate, and Legion Commander's hardly ever seen. But these are like Cloud9 signature picks. It's definitely more in their comfort zone than what we saw in game number 1.
I think I talked about this with Matt, the concept of picking heroes that you're familiar with versus what's popular in the meta. If you're going to lose a tournament or go down 2-0 and get knocked into the loser bracket, you would want to play heroes that you're really comfortable with heroes that maybe aren't the best for this meta, but ones that you feel confident, that you've played with, that you know how to play around, and that's what makes them strong for you. And I feel like C9, this is the lineup that I'm more comfortable with them seeing. They've got a good balance of late game. They've got actual catch potential. They've got a Fada-type hero. Yes, he plays the Dragon Knight, but Zeus is a hero that I love seeing Fada on.
All right, let's see how it's going to develop. As for CDEC, this is probably not their most common draft. Generally, they do get I'd say they've been given the gyro more often than not in this tournament. As of late, it's been either banned or picked against them more frequently. But they have run the aggressive PL before, and it really doesn't matter what hero he is. He can be an anti-mage. He's going to come to fights early, and expect to see his PL once he gets like the Aquila, maybe the drums. He will also look to get involved. So keep your eyes on him, as always, when watching this team. But the rune's about to spawn, and we'll see these teams immediately look for a bit of a clash. It's that early Skywrath Mage IO roaming duo, at least to try and secure the runes that comes out here for Misery and Big Daddy. Bounty Rune bottom, completely ignored by both teams. And they're like, oh, hey, maybe we should try and grab this. That's free gold, free experience. Sounds great.
And Garter's waiting for this mid courier, but he's going to be a little bit disappointed by the timing because Fada, instead of going for any sort of stat items, has just gone pure in for the quick bottle. And I called it LD. Winter wasn't on the cast, so somebody had to Merlini it up. And
yeah, you said Zeus very early. You said Zeus like 2 picks in, and it gets to the last pick. It's like, is it really going to be a Zeus? It's a Zeus, but it seems like the draft really centers around Bone 7's Legion Commander. You've got only one setup for everything, pretty much, and that's the ultimate of the Legion. But if he gets a good ult, Zeus ult comes over the top, so too the Skywrath Mage in a lot of trouble as they look to dive XC. Cloud9 off to a much better start already. Give them the first blood. It's the IO Skywrath duo, extremely strong offensively, very squishy, but they were on offense there, and our offlane Darkseer of XC not going to have quite the start he did on the Clockwork.
Yeah, and I think that was a bit of a mistake because Envy doesn't even have a level of the Rocket Barrage. He's decided to go for the Flat Cannon early game, and they haven't even been able to do anything as a result. And
they're going in again.
again.
Jeez. He is level 2. Is this where you start to consider the jungle, or do you feel like he still needs to stay here and keep the pressure up on the supports?
I think you want to just stay at this bottom lane for at least another wave or two, maybe even getting the Soul Ring if you can, or just pushing the lane and making it difficult, but you have to apply pressure because you don't want these supports to roam around. You don't want No Tail to just stack up the jungle. You want at least one of these heroes to hard commit. Because Misery, I feel, is the type of player that's most successful when he gets to move around, when he gets his levels, and him just staying static in the lane to zone out a Darkseer is something I don't think he wants to do.
I'm curious to see where the Bounty Hunter moves around this particular game. Last game we saw Garter focus on the enemy safe lane early, as he is going to be engaged upon here by Bone 7. Gets off that initial auto attack, they'll trade some blows, and the Bounty Rune goes the way of Bone 7. Meanwhile, Misery looking to secure a regen rune for himself, or possibly for Fada, whose bottle is now out. Now that they've actually seen the Bounty Hunter, he feels safe to move the courier out. Was the one downside to the support's bottom. He didn't have somebody to ferry it out for him, but he didn't really need it in the end either. CS lane already 12-0 in this mid lane and keeping up pretty much with the Lina of Shiki.
Yeah, Zeus doesn't really lose a lane to anybody just because you can Arc Lightning spam. He's opted to go for 2 levels of the Arc Lightning, so it's going to be incredibly hard for Shiki to do anything. And Lina is a hero that does rely on dominating her lane, getting that early pressure, trying to kill, but the reason why I thought Fada would play this Zeus is because you can just play the spacing game. When Sniper was such a popular pick by pretty much every team, they would just pick him Zeus so that he could play the spacing game, but in mid, he's so slow and...
They've got no Janata here. This is a very difficult go. In fact, Garter's in a bit of danger. Gets zapped twice, almost finished off. Only a level 1 Lightning Bolt, but just the Chain Lightning spam alone is really bullying CDEC in this middle lane, as even Shiki gets forced back quite a bit. Much better start here for Cloud9. Now, on the side of CDEC, it is free farm for aggressive here top pretty much, slightly behind Eternal Envy's farm, but not being pressured all that much by Bone 7 either. And it looks like they are going to rotate XC to the jungle. He decides the bottom lane just isn't working for me. I'm going to look to get my early mech and levels here on the dire side of the map. And the trade will be that Garter comes bottom, but he has to be careful. Misery started with the dust. And if he gets even the slightest suspicion that this bounty hunter's in the lane, they may die for it.
Yeah, they have boots on Misery. He's level 2. He's saving his points right now, and he's decided to go for the concussive shot. I think they know that Garter's actually down here, but Garter's just hiding in the woods right now. They don't want to overcommit for this, but once he turns that corner, they might just pop the dust and go.
If they're watching the scoreboard, they would have seen him just get a level here. And generally you expect the support to be leeching the experience in this position. But not going to make the go just yet. For now, they're content with pressure, but it is definitely a lot more pressure from Cloud9. They're getting active on the map in the safe lane. The supports are moving around a lot more. They're finding the runes early as Eternal Envy will officially get eyes on the bounty hunter now. Rotating against Misery, they just keep on threatening for this tower dive, and not something CDEC can really punish. 0 TPs out on the map at this point, so it'll be a free tower, and potentially the death of Garter if he walks anywhere near it. He's not even going to try. Eternal Envy, they get the first blood bottom, and now he gets the first tower here as well. Cloud9 already up by, it's going to be close to 1,000 gold after this, but experience still pretty much even. It seems when it comes to that, CDEC's actually the ones pulling ahead.
And a much smoother game for C9 this time around. They've gotten the heroes that they wanted. And in the last game, I almost felt like they were in a position where they had to just go for the all-out push once they got the BKB and the mech. But this game, they've got a lot more diverse of a lineup. You've got Fada who can back you up by just spamming in the background. And he's doing a really good job of keeping up in farm. You've got the IO, which I feel pairs a lot better with the gyrocopter than it did with the Razor.
And they really have great solutions for PL. The Legion Commander with overwhelming odds already very good against illusion-based heroes in general, as it does bonus damage to the illusions. You've got Zeus, who excels at killing off illusions with the massive magic damage and AoE he brings to the table, and you've got Gyro. So even if it goes late, it's not like the PL is an auto-win button. Now, that's not to say Cloud9 wanted to, but I think to go back to what you said, the key here is they have options this game. They don't have to all in, as mid-lane Misery will get blown up by Shiki. It's only a support Skywrath, but that is going to slow down the offense here for Cloud9.
Yeah, and Shiki is just doing such a good job. He's keeping up in CS. He gets a kill right there, and that's going to allow him to do even better. And I mean, this guy's just a god. He's just done so well in the last 2 games.
And it's been an interesting evolution for CDEC in the way they approach the draft, because you go back to the EG match, and something you and I briefly discussed during the draft is that hero actually got 3rd pick. So this time around, I think CDEC, having showed it last game and it having been successful, and EG having taken it away from them, they just move it up to the first phase. So it really shows you they prioritize the Lina even over, like, say, the Shiki Templar Assassin, which has been his other big hero in this tournament. They're kind of adapting their drafts based on what works, more so I think is necessarily strong.
Yeah, and on things that they're comfortable with, rather than...
We say no.
My fire's quenched.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
My powers regenerate.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Heads up!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You've done a great job of that. I don't think it's your job so much to do that. I just felt a little bit weird about the whole chest hair thing. Glad you cleared it up. It's all right. Keep rocking out there, Casey. Doing a great job. Gents, I mean, come on now.
I don't even have chest
one
hair.
Of you? They're already telling me I have to ask you. What would you do? Would you shave that into your
Sebastian.
Sebastian would.
As a Frenchman. As a Frenchman, I would not.
Wow. Ooh. Okay. All right.
As an Asian man, I would not. Hair is not very.
All right.
I would not do it there.
Okay. Hold those thoughts.
Oh no.
Hold those thoughts.
I would do it.
Forever or something. Do something anyway.
My hair.
During the pause. Wait for it. See, now that's how to deal with a pause, pro players.
You know, funny fact, it was Jeremy earlier saying that when he used to play with his family, then he would do push-ups if he failed. So maybe that's what happened.
Maybe he's taking a leaf out of Jeremy Linsberg. Brilliant, I love it. Thank you very much. Right, we are hopefully headed back to the game. Here's LD.
We're back, we're live. Cloud9 versus CDEC, Game 2. Just to remind those who have forgotten, CDEC leading the set 1-0, but looks like Cloud9's getting some momentum here, Blitz. They've taken down the top tower. They're closing in on the level 6 for Big Daddy, and they have put together a bit of a gold lead now. Looks like it's over 1,500.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in the time that we were gone, but all of a sudden C9's winning the game, and they're getting really aggressive around the map. They've taken out the bottom tier 1 tower, they've taken out the top tier 1 tower. The mid tier 1 tower is also a possibility for them, and I mean, all of a sudden Envy has so much farm right now. He's actually just delivered himself a Bracer and an Ogre Club.
And they're getting aggressive here on the map as Aggressive tries to throw out a Lance. He loses a lot of health to that initial Zeus nuke. We'll be rotating back, continuing to spam the Thunderbolt along the way, looking to do a bit of dewarding. I think Cloud9 probably the first team really pioneered that use of Zeus back when AUI 2000 played it in the support role. But of course, you could still do it as a carry. And now Fada has hit his stride. He's already level 8. He may go straight into the Bloodstone build. We've seen this from him before if he has a good start. Often just goes for like a bit of a greedier Zeus, I guess you could say, something that can really scale well into the late game.
Yeah, and something I really like about the Zeus against the Phantom Lancer in general is that you can stop him before he builds up an illusion army. Like, once a PL gets a Scotty and a Heart, maybe things become a little bit difficult, but in the early game, the second level of Arc Lightning makes such a big difference. You can pretty much instantly clear the illusions, tell which one is the real one, and you can deal with the Phantom Lancer. And that's what I like about C9's draft, is that before I felt like they were playing almost too reactionary to what CDEC were doing, but this one feels a lot more natural, feels a little bit more comfortable.
The only tool they don't have just yet is the Blink on Bone, but outside of that, they're ready to fight. The Envy's gone from straight into the combat build here for the Gyrocopter, picked up the Ogre Club. And you look at CDEC, and they just don't feel like they could take those 5v5 clashes now. The Phantom Lancer aggressive doesn't have the farm you need, and just sitting on a Bracer, Arena Vakila, trying to build into his first real core item. Shiki's Lina, no Ags complete, isn't going for the Yules this game, and well, you're running a support Bounty Hunter, not very good against 5-man strats, so where the Darkseer and the Witch Doctor could normally give you your team fight, they just don't have what they need yet. They are going to try and make a movement with XZ. CDEC still want to take this head on, but they're fighting into a lot of AoE here if they actually engage. And the tower drops dangerously low. Now the call down thrown out, a bit of a zoning tool. Glyph already popped, and they're still trying to hold the line, looking for the potential nuke on Envy here. Big Daddy keeps him in fighting shape. Now Aggressive rotates in, a Thunderbolt coming out. Instantly Aggressive lost all his HP, and they're going to lose the tower. It is denied by Q. Very nicely played as well. I have another pause here. And in 5 seconds, it looks like. So the teams will have a chance to collect their thoughts. And I mean, at this point, Cloud9 completely in the driver's seat. They can pressure the map with the double global threat. They've got their key levels to make moves around the map. And it really feels like CDEC are going to have to play complete defense for some time. They need the Darkseer mech. They need a good team fight opportunity. They just don't have anything in the near future.
Yeah, and something I really like about C9's play this game is that they're forcing CDEC to respond to whatever they do. They decide to go for the mid-tower push. CDEC isn't even in real fighting position, but they're forced to react to that, bring some heroes over, and that's just time where they're not farming. They have to bring the Phantom Lancer, who instantly gets nuked down to half HP. And it's almost like they wanted to defend that mid-tower, but they were thinking to themselves, there's actually no way. If you take a look at C9's lineup, there's just so much nuke potential. They have a lot of heroes that balance each other out well. They've got the physical damage of the Gyrocopter. And like you talked about, Fato's got so much farm right now. He's got a Soul Ring, Arcane Boots. He can spam for all he wants.
I have seen him go Midas occasionally on the Zeus. Do you think Midas is too greedy this game? Is Bloodstone good enough, or...?
I think when it comes to an item like a Bloodstone, the sooner the better. You don't want to go for half of a Bloodstone and then deviate. I feel like getting it around the 15-minute mark usually means that you're going to be winning fights, just because of the amount of tankiness that you have, the fact that you can spam your abilities nonstop. You're probably going to build up a decent amount of Bloodstone charges. If I'm
and they have lots of ways to get those kills around the map as well.
Yeah, exactly. You've got a lot of different setups. Last game, I think a large issue was that the supports just simply couldn't get levels LD. But this game, they've done such a good job with it. Skywrath Mage is level 6. Wisp is level 6. This was around the time where we saw both the supports at level 4 in the last game, and so you're seeing a complete change of tempo for Cloud9.
And it goes back to the way they chose to late it. They ran the dual lane, the IO, Skywrath, something that we used to see. I think Alliance was running it for a while after TI3 even, and would often dual roam early with Ake and your friend EGM, but it's kind of fallen off, and it is a very risky support duo. If you don't make plays happen in the laning stage, you've got two supports with 0 stuns between them, are frail, to be quite honest, and not particularly strong against BKBs generally, especially the Skywrath Mage, but they made it work. They got the first blood bottom.
Under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Heads up!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Guys.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Regeneration!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Go easy, worms. I'm your god too.
Oh, yeah!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Goes cold.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Thank you.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
You won.
Guys, old friends, go easy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
My target eludes me.
That worked? That worked!
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Double damage.
Illusion.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Tis mine.
Regeneration!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Money to burn.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Roshan has fallen to the
This
dire.
fire will never go out.
Regeneration!
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Invisibility!
bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Double damage!
Regeneration!
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We continue to serve.
Good night.
Victory.